Welcome to Immigration Quicktake. This is Ellie Rutledge Silver with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Yesterday, Congress passed a continuing resolution to keep the government funded until early December. The resolution included short-term reauthorization for EB-5, Conrad 30, and special immigrant non-ministerial religious workers. Here to share more is Bob Sakaniwa, Senior Associate Director of Advocacy at AILA. Bob, thanks for joining me. What does this continuing resolution mean?
The good news is, with Congress having just passed the continuing resolution and the President signing it today, this means we won't be facing a government shutdown this week. Amazingly, Congress seems to push these issues to the last minute. One of its most basic functions, of course, is to keep the government running, and in recent years, that effort to meet the deadline has been a challenge. This time around, the challenge, of course, was heightened by the upcoming elections and the need for members of Congress to get certain big issues dealt with before leaving to campaign in the next month or month and a half. For us, our biggest concerns, of course, were that the expiring programs of EB-5, Conrad, and religious workers was at least taken care of in terms of the duration of the continuing resolution. We didn't want to see the programs have their funding cut off and thus have to lapse. Fortunately, these programs are part of the CR and will continue through the duration, which is December 9th.
The government is funded and these visas are authorized until December 9th. What will happen then?
Of course, December 9th, we will be facing another deadline, one that, again, if Congress does not pass either another continuing resolution or omnibus package, we could face another shutdown. This is during the lame duck session, post-election, but prior to the new Congress taking their seats. So typically, this should not be as intense or high stakes as this last round. So the hope is it will be in the form of an omnibus, which would allow for more tweaks and reforms be included. The problem for some of the programs is that because of recent controversies, specifically in the EB-5 program, there are some radical changes that are being contemplated for the program. I think whether or not these changes and reforms to EB-5 can be ironed out prior to December 9th is a big question, and one that we will be tracking very closely and speaking to our key offices on Capitol Hill about. And we have essentially 4 very short weeks to have this discussion post-election before the next deadline.
What can AILA members do?
AILA members should continue to talk about the importance of especially these specific programs, Conrad, religious worker, and EB-5, to their members of Congress, especially during the period after the November election, prior to the December 9th expiration of the continuing resolution. If you have good stories and good examples of any of these visa programs, please talk to your House offices, talk to your senators about the good results you get from these programs. Another thing you can do is attend the EB-5 regional conference that AILA will be conducting October 24th. That will be an excellent opportunity to hear the latest regarding EB-5 practice issues, as well as hearing the latest on potential reforms that the program may be facing given the scrutiny it's getting from Capitol Hill. And what better place to hear this than in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, Bob, for joining me. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates from the American Immigration Lawyers Association.